Kenny Veach had felt something was very, very wrong. The vibration had started low, almost harmless, but the closer that he moved to the cave, the stronger that it became, until it was strong enough to vibrate his whole chest. He didn't panic, he didn't run, he turned around and he walked away. Most people would have left it at that, but Kenny, he didn't. It's midnight somewhere, and tonight I have a story for you. Kenny Veach was not an inexperienced hiker. He spent years exploring the Nevada desert, often alone, filming his hikes and sharing them on YouTube. His channel wasn't about thrill seeking, it was about solitude, exploration, and also documenting places most people would never ever get to see. And that's what made what happened next so unsettling. During one hike near the Nellis Air Force Range, Kenny claimed that he discovered something that he couldn't quite explain. A cave entrance hidden among the rocks. And what stood out wasn't the cave itself, it was the sound that was coming out of it. Kenny said that the cave emitted a deep humming vibration, and at first it was very faint, but as he approached, the vibration intensified, growing stronger with every single step he took towards the cave until it became physically uncomfortable. He later described it as something that he could feel inside his body, and the cave's shape made the feeling even stranger. According to Kenny, the entrance to the cave resembled a letter M. An M-shaped opening that seemed to hum, and Kenny trusted his instincts, so he left. After that hike, Kenny spoke about the cave online. Some people were intrigued, others were very skeptical, and they questioned whether the cave existed at all, and some suggested that the vibration was imagined or exaggerated. Now, the skepticism started to wear on Kenny, not because he doubted what he'd experienced, but because he wanted proof. So Kenny decided to go back. On his second trip, Kenny returned to the same area, attempting to locate the cave again. This time, something else very creepy happened. While he was searching from a ridge, Kenny noticed a large black ram eerily standing above him and watching him. The animal didn't flee, it didn't move on, it just stayed there observing him. Kenny mentioned it later almost in passing, but the detail lingered for him because he was already creeped out from the previous journey and experiencing those vibrations. Now, despite hours of searching, Kenny couldn't find the cave on this trip. No vibration, no M-shaped entrance, nothing at all. And as you can imagine, Kenny returned home very frustrated and unconvinced. So Kenny decided that there would be a third trip. This time he prepared more carefully. He packed more supplies, he bought his camera, and notably he armed himself with a sidearm for protection. Now, Kenny told his girlfriend where he was going and what he planned to do, and this wasn't a spontaneous hike by any means. It was deliberate this time. The area he was heading into was very remote, roughly 10 hours away from his home, and it was known not just for its harsh terrain, but for something darker. The region had a reputation for drug trafficking routes, abandoned mine shafts, and historically places where bodies had been dumped. Kenny set out anyway, and very sadly, Kenny never came back, and that was the last time that Kenny was ever seen again. Now, when he failed to return, his girlfriend reported him as missing. Search teams were deployed. They found his vehicle parked where it should have been. Inside were all of his personal items. Nothing suggested that he intended to disappear of his own accord. And searchers combed the sheep range for days and days and days. Helicopters scanned from above. Teams searched and set out on foot, and yet they found almost nothing. There was no backpack, there was no weapon recovered, and there was also no remains ever found of Kenny. Now, eventually, one item was recovered. It was Kenny's cell phone, and it was found near an abandoned mine shaft. Not inside it, just nearby, and that discovery itself raised more questions than it actually answered. Now, the cave that Kenny described was never conclusively located, no confirmed M-shaped entrance, no verified source of any sort of vibration, And despite extensive searches, the place that had drawn him back there 3 times simply wasn't there, which leaves the case in a deeply uncomfortable place. If Kenny fell, something should have been found. If he was injured, there should have been a trace, and if he encountered someone else out there, no evidence ever surfaced. Some suggest that the vibration could have been caused by geological resonance, others point to military activity in the region, but those explanations didn't fully account for why the sensation intensified with proximity, why the cave vanished, or why an experienced hiker disappeared without leaving a trail. Kenny went back to that place because people doubted him, and he wanted to prove what he actually found was real. Whatever he encountered out on that final trip, he never got the chance. As usual, let me know down in the comments what you think happened to Kenny, and if you like dark stories told at midnight, make sure you're subscribed. And until then, I'll see you at midnight.